A record number of overseas visitors traveled to Japan for the month of October. That makes this year the fastest that the annual number has surpassed the 30 million mark. Yuko Fukushima is here from our business desk. So Yuko, what's bringing so many people to Japan right now?
Well, the fall colors are always an attraction this time of year, and the yen's continued weakness makes Japan a bargain of sorts. But one tourist agency cites a number of other factors, everything from the star power of baseball great Ohtani Shohei to a historical drama that's generating worldwide interest in the country's culture. I'll get to that in a moment. First, let's break down the latest figures. The Japan National Tourism Organization estimates more than 3.31 million foreign visitors came to the country last month. It also means that more than 30 million have already visited in 2024. That's up more than 30% from a year earlier and the ninth straight record-breaking month. South Korea tops the list, followed by China and Taiwan. Chinese visitors doubled from a year ago, but we're still only about 70% of the figure compared to before the pandemic. Visitors from the U.S. increased by almost 32%, another reason for the surge in the October figure. I talked to the operator of the travel agency Luxurique that specializes in high-end tours about the latest trends in inbound tourism. She says changing habits among tourists from other parts of Asia were one factor.
Because it is very close, they tend to come to Japan quite, repeatedly. So we're seeing that maybe some of the travelers are coming not just a couple times a year, but maybe every season. And which makes a huge difference in the way they travel and what they want to do here. It's not just about going to some place and taking photos. It's really about sort of immersing themselves in the culture. And we're seeing that a lot more with the higher end clients, but also with even the middle class and the mass clients. I think people are diving deeper into something that sparks their interest, that makes them emotionally connect to Japan a lot more.
So is it fair to say that all these travel itineraries that you create for your clients, before they were these experiences were more for the really high end. Now all these middle class people are also having to experience these travels?
Absolutely. It's no longer about just coming here because they love anime and they will go to an anime fair, but they will be able to look for like workshops where they are able to do something and really immerse themselves in their personal interest.
Why do you think these, middle-class travelers are coming to Japan for more luxurious travel itinerary like this you just mentioned?
Number one, there is the weakening of the yen, of course, and that has a big component to it. The other thing is there's a lot more of the Japanese culture in public media. For example, Shohei Ohtani, and everyone has heard about him, and their fans coming to the U.S. and cleaning the stadiums, and maybe even Shogun having won all of those Emmy awards. People are seeing the Japanese culture, and it sort of sparks their interest.
I asked Mano more about what she thinks about the weak yen's impact on tourism, which is clearly good for her business. Well, her answer was a bit surprising.
I am obviously not against the weaker yen, but I do think that it does build into the over-tourism component. So it's almost like Japan is on a 30% off sale at the moment. So there will be people that only come to Japan because it is 30% off. Which means, for example, I could walk around Ginza and I would hear, tourists talking about, they may not be as culturally aware of the differences between Japan, China, and Korea, for example. So we do see some of these clients as well.
What are some of the problems being created by this weaker yen in the tourism industry, and what do you think should be done about it?
If you take Kyoto, it is it is a tourism destination. It is completely jam-packed with tourists everywhere. And you can really visit Kyoto with, having a $1 onigiri for lunch from the convenience store and then spending $5 in a temple to visit it. And it's almost too cheap. And one of the things that Luxurique has been doing really is to work with some of these municipalities to help them, raise awareness that they can actually try to bring, more I wouldn't say tax dollars, they're more donations into the city because the city is responsible for maintaining its infrastructure, whether it's the public toilets, whether it's the public roads, if there's enough if there's not enough buses, and the city has to do something about it. But then if if there's too many tourists that don't pay enough money, the balance is broken.
Well, Mano says she's helping to set up a program where tourists can make donations to the city of Kyoto, as there wasn't any system in place to do that. The small steps like these are beginning to form to remedy the problem of over-tourism in Japan.